Hi VC. A little bit of a different video coming today. I'm still in quarantine, not buying a huge amount of records really. So generally I've just kind of been going through and compiling different stacks of records and stuff. I have an awesome stack of records here. But before I do that, I did want to show this off. This is my trusty Sony Walkman Mega Bass WM-EX190. It's fine. It gets the job done. It does not have a Dolby S on it, but the Mega Bass function is really cool. It makes it sound a lot better. And it's nice. It's a nice little Walkman. It gets the job done for playing cassettes, which I don't do a lot. I do have a tape deck at home. It is an TIAC. Yeah, I think it's a TIAC. It's a double, and that does have Dolby B on it. Yeah, but I brought some tapes with me. First up, this is The Noise of Trouble by Last Exit. This is a Peter Brötzmann, Sonny Sheriff, Bill Laswell, Shannon Jackson. This is a side project, not like a main Brötzmann thing. It was, they originally just put out a self-titled album called Last Exit. I'm not the biggest fan of that album, but this live one is, it's really good. A lot of cool interplay, a lot of, obviously, rock music, influenced passages. Yeah, Last Exit. Also have Kate Bush's The Dreaming. I also have this on vinyl. I've got a first UK pressing of it. And this is an XDR version of The Dreaming. It wasn't my favorite Kate Bush album when I first heard it, but this is a grower, not a shower. It's awesome. Get Out of My House, The Dreaming, Suspended in Gaffa. That opening. Some say that knowledge is something set up in your lap. Great Kate Bush album. Next up, this is Nimesh Pharma. Bit of a plunderphonics, almost vaporwave sound, if you will. Not something I'm usually into, but this album it's just off the wall. It's crazy. And it is fantastic, honestly. I recommend everyone get into it. Originally, I think this came out on a double cassette release. This is one of those reissues. Now, I do think this is out of print. Next up, this stuff here is the reason why I have a cassette player. It is lended perfectly to this music. This is Controlled Bleeding, Knees and Bones. This is some fantastic death industrial by Controlled Bleeding. Very intense, I say that as the records fall over. Very intense, loud sounding death industrial. Insane vocals, terrifying vocals. And also, again, the reason, you know, the format this stuff was meant to be heard on. I've got some Nurse with Wound tapes here. This one right here is My Mort. It is Nurse with Wound and Current 93. First track I'm not super into. Second track is one of the most beautifully dark things I've ever heard. This one is my favorite Nurse with Wound album. I think this is sort of an opinion shared among fans. Homotopy to Marie. I know a lot of people like Soliloquy for Lilith as well. Also, Thunder Perfect Mind. That's one that a lot of people like. But yeah, I just wanted to show these off. I think they're so cool. These are cheap, not hard to get. We're gonna build this wall of noise here for the remainder of the video, and I'll get into some records here. I've shown this before. But I'll show it again. Shout out to Collective Clothing. This is Death Angel, The Ultraviolence. Fantastic classic thrash metal album. Full of amazing riffs. I mean, riffs for days. Great vocals, great production, great everything. And this is on, I think it's on Enigma. It is on Enigma. And it's got the insert. Yeah, Enigma was such an odd label. I guess you could call it an enigma. Seriously though, Enigma put out like Nick Cave, Striper, Game Theory. Next up, this is Christian Death, Only Theater of Pain. This is a first U.S. pressing on Frontier Records. The story of me getting this is fantastic. I went on Amazon probably about 5 years ago. Thought I was placing an order for the reissue of this for $6, and I got this in the mail. A perfectly serviceable, wonderful first pressing of this for $6 with the insert in it, which is, that's pretty amazing. Next up, Crimson Glory on Par Records. This is a weird one. This is another one I took a flyer on. It's like heavy metal. Elements of progressive metal, probably some elements of power metal in there, which usually isn't my thing. But this is kind of Halloween-ish, almost, in a way. Or I guess a precursor to sounds like Halloween. Fantastic riffs, interesting vocals. I don't know a lot about Crimson Glory, but I checked on Rate Your Music, and apparently this is a very well-loved metal album, so yeah, $5 in an antique store. Crimson Glory. Next up, don't have much to say about this one. I'm sure everyone is a fan of this. This is Burial's Untrue. Obviously a classic of ambient music, of dubstep, UK garage, stuff like that. And I love this album. I don't know who doesn't love this album. It is fantastic. This is all on hyperdub. Yeah, I mean, what can you say? It's a classic. I got this for cheap as well. I did not pay much for it. I think I got it brand new. Television, Marquee Moon. No, it's not a first pressing. I wish it was. This thing is not, honestly, in very good shape. But it is on this limited edition magenta vinyl. So yeah, beautiful. I don't remember when I got this. Because obviously this is a newer reissue, but it is kind of beaten up. I don't think I would buy a beaten up reissue, so this had to be cheap. But it sounds good. I mean, it gets the job done. But I would like a better copy of this in the future. Obviously, it's a classic, wonderful, wonderful album. The beautiful guitars of Verlin and Richard Lloyd. Texas is the Reason. Do you know who you are? This is some Midwest emo, post-hardcore. This is the deluxe edition from it. This is a gift from a friend. He found this in a Hot Topic for $3. Because I guess nobody bought it. I guess no one in Hot Topic is a Texas is the Reason head. I think this is the only album they put out. Sort of considered one of the lesser classics in Midwest emo. I say lesser, one of the less known ones. But yeah, I really like this album, and it was a gift. It was wonderful. I've shown this in a video before, but I'll show it again. This is one of the best finds I've ever had. First limited edition pressing of Wolves in the Throne Room, 2 Hunters. I think in time this is going to be seen as a classic of American black metal. I certainly see it that way. Sleeve is not in the best shape, but that's fine. I mean, copies of this go for $50 and $60, and I think I paid $9 for it. But yeah, just a classic of American atmospheric black metal, which is saying something. I know a lot of people tend to disagree, but I'm just a fan of American black metal. Liturgy, of course, and I mean, I love Deaf Heaven. I thought their last album, Ordinary Corrupt Human Love, I thought it was fantastic. And I'm going to end off on this note. As I've talked about before, I am a huge Robert Christgau head. And I read a list of his from the 70s, and he ranked Layla up pretty high. I've had a copy of Layla for a long time. I don't play it much, though. But I'm pretty sure I love this album. I'm pretty sure it's amazing. And Christgau said a lot more great things, which has encouraged me to crank it up even more. So yeah, that is it. Ending off there on this note on Derek and the Dominoes, Layla. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about where you can get more of these tapes, they're constantly being repressed. And I do believe that the distributor is selling all those Nurse with Wound tapes for like $6 each. Chance Meeting on a Dissecting Table with an Umbrella, Spiral and Sauna, I know is on there. Obviously, My Mort and Homotopy to Marie, to the ones that I have. Yeah, and I paid about $6 each for those. Yeah, I don't really see people in the VC talk a lot about noise or industrial music or drone music. So if you're in the VC and that happens to be your thing, reach out, leave a comment or something. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Later.